We're going to look at a few examples using the compound interest formula. Now this is straight out of stage 5 maths, so it shouldn't be too difficult, but you've possibly forgotten it at this point. So let's just have a look. So find the future value of $10,000 invested for 5 years at 12% per annum if it's compounded annually. So if it's compounded annually, our R and our N are in years. It's 12% per annum, put it as a decimal, always as a decimal, so 12%. If you're not sure, 12 divided by 100. You can press 12 and the percent button, which is straight above the open bracket symbol. So 12, shift open bracket and press equals. It'll give it to you as a fraction or a decimal depending on how your calculator is set up. If it gives it to you as a fraction, just press the SD button, which is straight above the delete button or near the AC button. So 12%, 0.12. Our N is the number of years this time because it's compounding annually. Annually means years. So 5 years, so that's our 5. So our formula is future value equals present value 1 plus R to the power of N. So let's just plug in our numbers. So the present value is our $10,000. That's our principal of our loan. It's what we started with. Our 1 plus R, if you want, you can straight away add the 1 and make that 1.12. If you want to write it as 1 plus 0.12, that's fine as well. Either way, I'm going to put it as 1.12. We're going to be putting it straight in our calculator, so if you wrote it as 1 plus 0.12, that can just go straight in your calculator. N equals 5. And if you put that into your calculator, you get $17,623.42. So that's our future value. That's what it's going to be worth after 5 years. Now, let's look at what it would be worth if it was compounding monthly. So have a think. Do you think it's going to be worth more compounding monthly or less? Pause the video if you need to think about it. So let's have a look. Our rate of interest has to be made monthly, so we need to divide that by 12, and that's 0.01 as a decimal. Our N is our number of months. These things both need to be monthly. So in 5 years, there are 12 months per year, making 60 months altogether. So if we plug these numbers now into our formula, we've got the 10,000 at the start. Our 1 plus 0.01 is 1.01 to the power of 60. So bigger answer or smaller number than before. Here it is. $18,166.97. It is a bigger answer because that interest is going back into the account more often. So there's more money into the account, making more interest in the future as well. Okay, we can also be asked to find the present value. Given the future value, we need to find the present value. So we're finding our P when we know our A. So the present value of $3,000 at 2% per annum over 5 years, compounded quarterly. So let's start by looking at our R and our N. So 2% is 0.02, but it's quarterly. So we have to divide it by 4 to put it into quarters. That's 0.005. Our N is the number of quarters. So it was 5 years, but there are 4 quarters in a year. So there are 20 quarters altogether. So that's quarters and that's per quarter. Remember, I'm going to say it over and over again. If this is compounding quarterly, these are both quarters. So let's put what we know into our formula. So the amount at the end is the $3,000. Our P we don't know. Our 1 plus R is 1.005 to the power of 20. Now all we need to do to solve that, of course, is to divide by this value next to the P. So let's divide each side by 1.005 to the power of 20. Cancel there. I'll just flip it around, so I'll write the P on the left and this thing on the right. If you put that into your calculator, it is $2,715.19. That's how much we'd have to invest right now to end up with $3,000 in 5 years' time. It's a fairly low interest rate, so I wouldn't consider that a great improvement. It really depends on what our inflation rate is. At the moment, our inflation rate is very, very, very low, especially with the coronavirus happening at the moment. The Reserve Bank has set our inflation rate incredibly low. So if we were earning 2% per annum at the moment, that would be amazing. It would be really high. But it's not a huge difference. Investing $2,715 to end up with $3,000 in 5 years' time, that's not great. But it's better than inflation, so it still earns us more than just letting the value of money change over that time.